I think that there are many opportunities for Scottish companies in technology in the US, and I try to make sense of those opportunities both from a geography and from an industry niche point of view. So if we look at the geography perspective first, I would say that there are several geographic clusters where there is a proliferation of technology activity happening. It used to be the case that most of that activity was concentrated either in Silicon Valley and the Bay Area on the West Coast, or perhaps New York, Boston on the East Coast. But what we've actually seen happening over the past maybe 10, 15 years is a creep from those centres as some of the big technology giants like Microsoft or Amazon establish bases in other locations. The opportunities for Scottish companies are centred around some of the new and emerging technology trends that we see happening in the US and Canada. So to give some examples, you hear lots of discussion around big data. So many companies are generating a proliferation of data exponentially bigger than ever before, and that requires a whole new set of skills as well as the infrastructure and the platforms to generate the data, to analyze it, to store it, and also to keep it secure. So cybersecurity, we see many opportunities for Scottish companies in that area. In addition to big data and cybersecurity, there is also much discussion around automation and robotics, both in industry and in the domestic setting as well. Scotland has a reputation as being an innovative, inventive country. The talent which is emerging from our universities here in Scotland is world-class and is recognised as such. So companies here, born in Scotland, built from that talent base, there is no question but that they will be able to be competitive in the US market. The key probably is around making sure that you are able to demonstrate the benefits of that product or service in a really meaningful way, and that you choose your end customer carefully so that you are targeting very precisely those end customers. The support which Scottish Development International offers companies who want to export or do business in the US and Canada, I categorize it into 4 chapters. The first of which, and probably the most important, is around advice. So the first port of call really should be speaking to either a business gateway advisor or a Scot exporter advisor. So these are specialists who are able to look at your particular company, your particular circumstances, and give you some really practical groundings in the first and most important steps. The second category of support is around networks and connections. So SDI and its partners are able to connect you into, for example, global Scots, people who are already doing business in the marketplace that you're interested in. And this usually generates perhaps your first or your second connection, which in turn has a multiplier effect. And before you know it, you have your own network in that particular market. The third area, very important, is around funding. So there are particular funding schemes which are available to new exporters around designing services for the export market. And then the final category, which can be overlooked, is around the provision of market information and market insights. We in SDI always make sure that the information and insights which we pick up in our local marketplaces are fed back to colleagues in Scotland, so that that insight, that information, that really critical on the ground information finds its way to companies as well.